So the Chicago Bulls had a very good season last year, and although they fell short in the playoffs, this team is still pretty solid and is looking to make some noise next season. Now, there were talks going around saying the Chicago Bulls can't beat any top teams and that they were flukes. And in my opinion, I believe there were some times where you could say that was valid, but also you had to consider the circumstances Chicago was in. Having an injured Lonzo and Alex Caruso, who were both away from this team for periods of time, played a big factor in that, as they are both used to this team. The big things that stood out when watching Chicago was the lack of defensive chemistry and a true floor general to get this offense in the flow easily. With Lonzo hoping to return back into this lineup, and I say that loosely because we are not sure if Lonzo will be 100%. If he can come back and pick up to where he left off, then that will help this Bulls team greatly. Before getting injured, Lonzo was on track to be a premier deep range threat and a good facilitator for this team, shooting 42% from deep on 7 attempts a game while also dishing 5 assists per game. Lonzo could either torch you from the arc or make the defense pay if they allow openings for passes to slip by. With the improved 3-point shooting from Lonzo, it puts the defense in a very tight spot, either help on drives or stay on the perimeter. With teammates such as Caruso, Lavine, and DeRozan slashing to the basket, this greatly benefits them as they will have more open space to attack, as Lonzo's man will likely stay home instead of sliding to help. The swagger this Bulls team plays with when ball is on the floor is much different than when he is not. His vision down the court on fast breaks and just in the half court is very ridiculous. He makes it easier for everyone around him as he is always looking for the next open man to set up for an easy look. Missing this true point guard presence can really knock a team off the path a little bit, as Lonzo helps this machine run better, as playmaking is a natural skill in his game. When you take that away from a team, it can really crumble the pace, the functionality, and creativeness of the offense. Lonzo hasn't played over 63 games in a season for his entire NBA career, so if he can finally play a full season, I think we can see some great things from Lonzo offensively. But that isn't where the value stops. When you pair not only him, but also Alex Caruso in the backcourt together, the defense is truly harassing. Before getting injured, Lonzo was averaging a career-high 1.8 steals a game and was making it tough for players to get it going when matched up against him. The anticipation and IQ of Ball carries him on the defensive end, as he just seems to know where the ball is going and where to be at the right times. Then when you tag in his partner in crime, Alex Caruso, he allowed 8.2 fewer points per 100 possessions while he was on the floor, ranking in the 96th percentile, while also snatching 1.7 steals a game. The amount of disruption he caused on the defensive end is very valuable, as you can stick him on a primary ball handler, off-ball movement shooters, or taller wings, and he can hold his own and make an impact. Ranking 6th in the NBA for deflections at 3.4 a game, you can't throw risky passes or Caruso might get a hand on it, as he is always in the passing lanes, and you can't be handling the ball loosely or else he will make you pay by picking your pocket. Having two guards that can get out there and fly around the court wreaking havoc on your offense is probably the most irritating thing you could face offensively, and with the Bulls, they certainly have the option to do so. Although he might not be the premier playmaker like Lonzo, you can see the same type of push the pace on the fast break playstyle, and Caruso can thread the needle at times, making nice reads. If he doesn't have the ball in his hands pushing up the floor, then he's a great off-ball movement guy. Using his sneaky athleticism to slash off ball and finish at the basket, this is a strength to his game where he can really build on going forward, and he can work directly off Vucevic and Lonzo's great court vision to make things easier for him in the half court. Going forward, it would be nice to see his shooting from the outside improve some more. Caruso doesn't shoot it at a high volume whatsoever, and when he does, we see percentages start to drop. Most of his value for the team comes defensively, but hopefully next season we can see him start to build on his offensive game even more. Lonzo and Caruso can both facilitate when the ball is in their hands, and on the fast break they are great at finding Lavine on jaw-dropping lobs up the court. Lavine's athleticism, coupled with his ability to score effectively at all three levels, makes him a perfect go-to option on the floor. Becoming an all-star for the second time in his career and getting his first playoff experience, Lavine had a pretty good season and looks to build on that going forward. The way Zach LaVine is able to speed past defenders on the first dribble is honestly breathtaking. The rate at which he changes pace and how quick he can change directions throws off defenders totally. It makes it hard for defenders to recover on Zach because they don't know what he's going to do, as he uses a lot of start and stop hesitation moves. On 5 attempts per game in the restricted area, Lavine knocks these down at a 60% rate, so it's best to not let him get ahead of steam when he's getting downhill off the dribble. Not only does he have the athleticism to rise up and punch it on you, Zach can glide in the air while making acrobatic adjustments if met by the defense. His slashing ability doesn't get talked about enough around the NBA to me, maybe because he doesn't lean on that aspect of his game all the way, but when he does attack the rack, he looks pretty unstoppable. Getting to the basket is the first thing defenses have to deal with when guarding him, but from deep, Lavine reins it in at a 39% clip and is very confident when letting it fly. Putting up 7 threes a game, if you let Lavine get hot, then you have no other option than to face guard him and show no help so you can slow him down. This firepower from deep spaces the floor greatly and will allow for the offense to breathe easier and find better looks at the basket. Lavine drops in the mid-range pretty effective as well at 49% on around 4 attempts per game, and this is an area where I think Lavine could be even more deadlier. With his tight handle on the ball, Lavine is great at creating space and bursting out of his combos, so if he can get more shots up in the in-between area and keep the same efficiency, then he could be nearly unguardable. But the times when Lavine isn't doing so well scoring the ball, DeRozan is usually there to methodically break down a defender and go get a bucket. Having been in the league for a while now, DeRozan is great at getting to his spots easily and knocking it down. With large portions of his shot diet coming from the mid-range and restricted area, as you can see, he is pretty effective in these spots. DeMar is a pretty consistent player who sticks to his game plan of working out the mid-range, so you pretty much know what he's going to bring year in and year out. Although it would be nice to see him shoot the 3-ball more and effectively, that's just not the type of player he is. Where I would want to see DeMar improve coming into next year is when he gets double teamed on the court. Teams are starting to see the offense flows through him, and he isn't very good at finding open teammates when heavy pressured on the double. I'm sure with Lonzo and Caruso back healthy, that shouldn't be much of a problem, but it's better to improve on it just in case those situations present themselves in the future. This core alongside Vucevic is very solid and all offer a ton of value to this team in their own respective ways. If they could all just stay healthy and build that chemistry together, then this team could really be fluid on the court together. Bringing over Drummond was a good move as he would help with the boards and be a big body down low, and that brings me to this question. What role players do you think are going to be key next season? Is it Ayo, Gordon Dragic, Kobe White, or will it be one of the incoming rookies, or whoever? Let me know, let's talk about it in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, watch this Clippers team evaluation where we break down what this team is capable of next season, or watch this Anthony Edwards video where we will be breaking down what makes him a superstar in this league. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.